Hey guys, welcome back to another lesson. Today I'd like to show you an exercise for working on your left hand stretching. Stretching your left hand is very important if you want to achieve big lush voicings for chords. Maybe something like this, and this means stretching your hand to an octave and even more, ideally up to tenths. Let me play the exercise for you, and then we'll go back and break it down. Okay, let's discuss what we've just seen. The exercise consists of an ascending chord train. It builds up progressively, and I'll walk you through each of the steps. But let's actually start with the right hand. And that's sort of the easier part because it does the same thing throughout, and you should memorize it first before starting to work on the left hand. So the right hand plays the following notes. The first chord is a C minor 9, and it just plays just the right hand now, a B flat, D, and E flat. I'm going to just play the left hand double bass for context. The next chord is a B flat major add 2. And now the right hand plays a B flat, a C, and an F. Next chord is an E flat major add 2, and the right hand plays a B flat, an F, and a G. The next chord is an F major add 2, and the right hand plays a C, G, and A. You can slightly play with this. You can play an F major chord instead if you want. That's fine as well. The next chord is a G minor 11. And now the right hand plays a C, F, A, and a B flat. The next chord is again an F major add 2, and the right hand plays an F, G, and C. And finally, the last chord is a B flat add 2, or B flat major add 2, and the right hand plays F, C, and D. So the first thing, just get yourself familiarized with the right hand pattern. And then it just repeats over and over and over. Let's now talk about the left hand. In the simplest level of this exercise, your left hand is going to play a double bass, meaning it's going to play the same note with its pinky, or the fifth finger, and the same note just an octave above with the thumb, the first finger. And the bass is, just goes up, and it's pretty simple in the sense that you play a C, a D, an E flat, an F, a G, an A, and a B flat, and then you go back again. And so on and so on. And your first order of business is to get yourself comfortable playing these octaves. Octaves are sort of the basis of pretty much playing any chord on the piano. The next level, so this would be the simplest sort of level of stretching for the left hand. I'll just have some tea and we can continue. The next level of stretching involves also adding an additional note in between these octaves. So now you'll be playing the following. Again, you'll be playing octaves in the left hand, but you'll also be adding a note in between with either your second or third finger, usually. So the first is a double bass for a C, and you add a G. Now you're playing the D double bass, but you're adding a B flat. Now you're playing the E flat double bass, but you're keeping the E flat. An F double bass, but you're adding the C. A G double bass, but you're adding the D here. An A double bass, but you're adding the F. And a B flat double bass, but you're adding the F. And so on and so on. What this does, it sort of helps you work on the stretching between mostly the fifth finger and the second finger, you know, doing things like this, for example. This might be easy for some of you and more difficult for others. So if it's easy, you can just move on to the next level. The next level has you playing ninths. So ninths wherever possible. Previously, we've played double bass, but now we're going to try and stretch our thumb a little bit, going one note higher. And we're going to, most of the time, keep the same middle note that we've played previously. So here's what we're going to play. For the first chord, the C minor 9, we're going to play a C, a G, and a D. For the B flat, we're going to play, well, in this case, we're going to keep the octave. We're going to play a D, and then a D double bass and a B flat. For the E flat, if you can stretch it, play this. So you're playing again, an E flat, B flat, and an F. For the F, you'll play, and when I keep playing them like this, but I mean for you to hit all of the notes simultaneously. So here I'm playing an F, a C, and a G. For the G minor, you're gonna play a G, a D, and an A in your left hand. For the F, you're gonna play a double bass for the A, and an A double bass and an F with your second finger. And then for the B flat, you're going to play a B flat, F, and C. Now this is not easy when you're starting out, and this is something you need to work on. How do you work on this? Well, you first of all get yourself sort of comfortable stretching your fingers before you even try to play anything musical or meaningful. So see if you can play ninths like this. And if it's difficult, just try stretching your hand a bit and letting it rest. And then letting go, and then stretching your fingers and trying again. There's no simple way around this. This is pretty much a stepping stone you need to take, or you need to step on. Now, the next level of this exercise has you playing tenths wherever possible, but arpeggiating them. This means that you're going to hit each note successively. So let me walk you through this. The first chord, the C minor, you're going to play a C, a G, and an E flat. The second chord, which is a B flat major, you're going to play a D, B flat, and F. The next chord, which is an E flat major, you're going to play an E flat, B flat, and G. Then you're going to play for the F major an F, C, and A. For the G minor, you're going to play a G, D, and B flat. For the F major, you're going to play an A, an F, and a C. And finally, for the B flat major, you're going to play a B flat, an F, and a D. Now, this has you getting used to thinking and recognizing and playing these large span of notes, even though you're not hitting them simultaneously. Sorry. And so on and so on. For the last and most complex form or level of this exercise, you're going to be playing wherever possible tenths in your left hand. Now, at this point, there are just some people that have large hands and some people that have small hands. Some people can play something like this. I couldn't, by the way, when I started out. But now I can, simply because as I've said, I've worked up to this point. And you see that I'm playing the full, instead of arpeggiating the notes, I'm hitting them all together. Same goes for the next form, for the B flat major. Now the next form is the A flat, the E flat major. And this now is definitely beyond my physical capabilities. To play this sort of interval between an E flat and a G, you really need to have large hands. Some pianists have them, some pianists do not. And the way to sort of know if you can manage it is take your fifth finger, put it on the E flat, and then try stretching your thumb and see if you can, without, you don't have to hit them simultaneously, but just see if you can play them one after the other, like this, without hitting any other note. Now, personally, I cannot do this, and at some point you need to acknowledge your physical shortcomings. However, if you can, then this means that you have hope and you can actually play these large intervals. There are jazz chords and progressions and piano concertos that actually rely on this. Rachmaninoff had freakishly long, large hands, and all of his piano concertos feature these major tenth-like intervals, that are very difficult for a lot of pianists to execute. So if you cannot do this E flat major, that's fine, don't feel too bad about it. The next chord, the F major, is an F, C, and A hit together. Again, this is the previous arpeggiation, but now you hit all of the notes together. Then for the G minor, again you hit all of the notes together, G, D, and B flat. F major, you hit A, F, and C. And then for the B flat major, again I cannot stretch, I cannot do the major tenth. So I do major 9. So major 10th, major 10th, major 9, major 10, minor 10 in this case, minor 10, and major 9. That's it. It's going to take a lot of work on your part to eventually and gradually stretch your fingers. This is not going to come in a day. If you're not used to it, it's not going to come in a week, and probably not in a month as well. But it is definitely something that you want to try and work on just a little bit every day. And hopefully this exercise will help you out. Again, these very lush chord voicings are sort of really very, very useful, and they sound really great when you play jazz. So getting to know this is definitely, I think, an important step in musical education. That's it. I'm going to have a repeating loop of the exercise of a few minutes at the end of this video, so you can just practice, just put it in the background for a few minutes and practice it every day. Come back to this video, just play it again, and so on and so on. And hopefully with time, you'll progress through the different steps of this exercise and get it under your belt, and hopefully get your fingers on the left hand to stretch. That's it. Hope you've learned something interesting, and I'll see you next time.